Hello there, my fellow Cybertronians. This is the Ginger Transformer podcast with your host Mega Ginge. Still not really Ginge. Well, it's growing a little bit more. It grows slow on me. So this week we're talking about Titan's Return, the second part of the Prime Wars trilogy. Didn't even realize until my last podcast here that I actually had an official name, the Prime Wars trilogy. See, I don't know everything. Quick run through. Now, this one was a like 2 hour block I watched this in. So I'll simply be referring to notes the whole way through because I can't remember this kind of stuff, you know? But without much further ado, hopefully this will be as quick as the last one. So, Time's Return was made in 2017, second part of the Prime Wars trilogy. And unlike the first part, we have some celebrity voiceovers. I'll get that out of the way quickly. We have, and this is the most important one as far as I'm concerned, we have Peter Cullen voicing Optimus Prime. Now, the guy who did season one wasn't bad. I honestly thought it was Peter Cullen did both seasons. That's how good he was. But no, Peter Cullen was signed on for the second season. So you know what? Yay, good. So we got him as Optimus Prime. Will Wheaton, best known for his role as Wesley Crusher in Star Trek Next Generation, voicing Perceptor. Yes, we get Perceptor in this series. We got a new character. Woo! And you know what? I can't think of someone who could have done better. Maybe just bar the original voice actor. But Will Wheaton, much love and much respect for that guy. So very happy with the choice for Perceptor. Judd Judd Nelson as Hot Rod slash Rodimus Prime slash Rodimus Grun. So yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, Judd Nelson, the original voice of Hot Rod and Rodimus Prime from the 1986 movie. So that was a nice kind of Easter egg, you know, because I don't think he did the voice for him in season three or four of the original Transformers. I think it was like movie and out, but I could be wrong. But yeah, good to see another original from back in the day. Jason David Frank, best known for his portrayal as well at this point Green Ranger, White Ranger, a different Red Ranger. I think it was a Black Ranger at one point from several different series of the Power Rangers franchise, mainly from the first few seasons, including a movie. But he voices Emissary, the Titan Master of Fortress Maximus. Fortress Maximus, once again on the Star Trek The Next Generation route here, voiced by the very talented Michael Dorn, who played Worf on Star Trek The Next Generation in four movies and in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and reprised his role in Star Trek Picard. So for the last season, he's been keeping busy. And last but not least, only at the end, the very end, because you only see this character right at the end. Well, I'll not say the character is right now. I'll mention it when I'm reading my stuff out. We get Mark Hamill. He voices one of the Transformers. So without further ado, basically starts with Starscream is dead and a ghost again. But once again, I'm not sure if this is an again situation because he was really freaked out. And the first time, he just seemed to be very at home, just haunting people and causing fucking chaos. I quite enjoyed that. But, like I said, like I said in the vast video, these three were G1 adjacent, not proper, like G1 timeline. Think MCU and then think Loki, it breaks off, you know? Rodimus Prime eventually becomes Hot Rod again. And this happens very early in the season because he feels he was a failure as a leader, even though he led Cybertron for peace within the council for 40 years. It takes getting his arm ripped off by Devastator to just go, no, I don't think it's for me anymore. Can you remove the Matrix? In this big council chamber that we've never seen before, which actually has the ability to remove a Matrix from a leader and then like place it somewhere until somebody else comes along. That'd have been nice to have been mentioned, you know, the Ballistica or Ballistia or something like that. Ballistia, I don't know what it's called. Big weird looking chamber. Yeah, Metroplex is in this. I mean, it is Titan's return, so I'd be disappointed if he wasn't. And it's not just his arm this time. He has got his ass up and just can't stand still through the first couple of episodes until, Starscream, doing his as usual, possesses Triptychon. This could be a callback to the Generation one episode, Ghost in the Machine, where he does possess Triptychon and takes him to Unicron, you know? And I'm not gonna lie, most of the series is Triptychon walking towards very slowly, given his height, walking very slowly towards where all the heroes and villains and are, right? Here's Metroplex. Bitch slaps him down. Eventually, after more very slow walking, Fortress Maximus turns up. And that kind of seems to be the buffer. Fortress Maximus is the one that stops him eventually. But for all those episodes, for like mainly for 2 hours, it's Triptychon walking and defeating various obstacles on his way to this like I don't know, is it like a council chamber? I'm not really sure, if I'm completely honest. That's basically the synopsis. There's a lot of stuff in between that as I'll go through it, you know. But that is basically the synopsis. Triptychon walks for the better part of 2 hours. Walks and kicks ass. That's pretty much it. Possessed by Starscream the whole time. Obviously, as I've just mentioned them several times, we get Triptychon. That's our second Titan in Titan Wars. The Titan Wars gets a bye with this. Combiner Wars were lots of combiners for Combiner Wars that just were never used. Titans are rarer. They're more scarce. I mean, the four that you can name off the top of your head would be the same ones as me: Metroplex, Triptychon, Fortress Maximus, and Scorponok. Scorponok, who is not in this. We have Metroplex, Triptychon, and eventually Fortress Maximus. I mean, there are other Titans, but it was only decided in the War for Cybertron WFC series that the Ark and Nemesis should be Titans. You've got, I think his name is Dark Sarek or Black Sarek or something. He's a Titan as well. And you've got Grand Maximus. But once again, Titans are a lot more thin on the ground. They're a lot more spread out over a lot of lore. Because let's face it, it would just be too easy to just go, oh, the Decepticons are attacking him. Let's just raise the 2 mile high guy just to splat him his hand. Again, it would be the way they would deal with everything in every episode. It would eventually get boring. So this series gets a bye for the lack of Titans because there's three, and they're three of the mains. So as I mentioned earlier, we get Perceptor. Yeah, I always liked Perceptor as a character. Just the fact that Will Wheaton has voiced him in this. That's like he was almost like it was like a science nerdy geeky guy in the Next Generation, and it's basically they went right. They have a character in this, you'd be perfect to voice, and they 10 out of 10 they got it right. There are various seekers seen, Sunstorm, and what looks to be Thundercracker and Skywarp. This is set 40 years after the events. It's very possible that they were just never turned into like Scourge or Cyclonus or any of the sweeps. Megatron, as mentioned, that Megatron was Galvatron, but it doesn't mean that anyone else was changed. He could have bargained for their lives and says, right, they stay as they are. If you're changing me, they stay the way they are. Just send them back to Cybertron. You know, could have been random seekers, but two of them very much looked Skywarp and Thundercracker ish during an assault on Triptychon, where they pretty much all die again, including Sunstorm. I just thought we were going to get some sort of ultra powered Sunstorm thing, We didn't. So of course, during the series, we get Metroplex versus Triptychon. Metroplex warning Windblade that he doesn't have the power to stop him. That he'll do what he was created to do and fight him, but at the end of the day, he ain't going to be enough. And sure enough, eventually, even with a Titan Master powering him up, the Titan Master came in too little too late. By this point, Triptychon's already ripped an arm off, of Metroplex. He's fighting one-handed against Triptychon, and Triptychon's just beating the shit out of him. Technically, it's two people beating the shit out of him, but no one knows that at the time. In play, we have a lot of God stuff here. We have the Matrix of leadership. We have the Enigma of combination, and what is mentioned, but I don't think you see it in this one. This series is the Requiem Blaster, created by Solus Prime to fight Unicron. Only they had that back in 84, 86. I apologize. Overlord. We finally get Overlord. Yeah, and he speaks very good English for a guy that only spoke Japanese in the whole series he was in. But yeah, we finally get Overlord, and he is pretty much as invincible as he is displayed in anything else he has been in, to the point where he offs the Mistress of Flame during the series. His kill count's probably a lot higher, but we just don't see it. Yeah, he kills the Mistress of Flame while looking for Megatron. Obviously, just like in IDW, he has a beef with Megatron here. Megatron finds Mistress of Flame, and yeah, because he finds her, can't save her. He is blamed by the combiners. Once again, Victoria leading a self-righteous charge. You're a murderer, blah, blah, blah. Why should we trust you? You're Megatron. Even Devastator and Menacor go for him. It's like, do you not remember who the hell he is? But I digress. Once again, Ratchet is mentioned. Another Autobot who was dead in the movie, mentioned in the present tense. So once again, more evidence that this is once again G1 adjacent, not proper sequel to G1. Because Ratchet, he was blown away in the fucking shot. You know, he was dead as a dodo. But yes, that's between two series, Wheeljack and Ratchet mentioned. But like I said, that might not have happened in this adjacent kind of universe, you know? I don't know. Rodimus, after fighting valiantly against Tripticon, well, Hot Rod, really, um, fighting valiantly against Tripticon, you know how this is going to have went. He gets bitch slapped because, you know, it's a Titan. Everyone's getting bitch slapped. There's no shame in it, you know? Left, right, and center. Another Titan got bitch slapped by him. So, but yeah, he ends up getting quite badly hurt and found by Overlord, who thinks it's quite funny to see him just kind of lying like spangled in a hole, you know, just kind of half dead. You know, still quick enough to pull a gun and shoot Overlord in the face, does nothing. So he takes the Matrix of Chaos, which he has for some strange reason, and forces it into Hot Rod. Optimus Prime is given the Matrix back, so that's nice. Yeah, he gives it to Perceptor and tells him, take this and run, go. And it's like, so you don't really want it back for yourself? No, take it and go. Obviously, Triptychon's after it. How the hell would he know that? He's Optimus Prime, so I trust him, don't we? So yeah, something that is quite good and is seen throughout all three seasons. Megatron definitely has a sense of humor. It's dark, it's sarcastic, but it is there. He has a definite sense of humor, and it kind of brings believe it or not, that brings a kind of more light-hearted kind of feel to the series as they go along because you know they kind of get darker. More people die, things get blown up. You know, by the end of the third series, Power of the Primes, you know you kind of want some of a sense of humor. You know, the combiners use the Enigma and merge into a more powerful being, basically a bigger version of Victorion, of course. And this mega Victorion fights Triptychon slash Starscream, and it goes about as well as what happened to Metroplex. Even with this kind of like, oh, Enigma power, we can use it better because we are combiners, and you know, there's like goldy kind of sparkly. It's like it's more solidified. It is a Victorian kind of looking thing. You know, you can see like lines and like below it's kind of blocky, you know. But once again, it's very much the pink glitter sparkle. So you know, and to be fair, she's not even looking to stop Triptychon. She buggers off and she's looking for Overlord who killed the Mistress of Flame. She wants vengeance. So she doesn't even realize there's like a 2 mile high Titan behind her, who, you know, just flattens her. You know, but she gets back up. There's a bit of a fight, but once again, you know where it's going, you know? Fortress Maximus is eventually awakened. Good, because we really need him. It's only when he starts talking, you're sitting and going, it's worth some Star Trek. You know, I mean, Michael Dorn's done voiceover stuff in other things. And he's done a lot of other stuff apart from Star Trek. But to be fair, to me, he will always be Worf. You know, it's that simple. Trip to Starscream, I'm just going to call that, versus Optimus Prime and the Combiners, and then eventually Fortress Maximus. They all eventually come together after he's been walking very slowly and slowly towards I'm just going to call it Iacon's capital at this point, right? I don't even know if it's Iacon they're in. And even with all their combined might, they do not stop him. I mean, I think he eats the Titan Master emissary, gaining the Titan Master abilities. He ends up like eating Victorion, so he becomes some sort of giant purple looking Barney kind of thing, you know, and he starts to overpower everything. At this point, everyone's just starting shooting everyone's starting killing it. Well, he eats the Enigma combination. He can then, you know, basically control the combiners. He gets into their heads and sets them against everyone else. He doesn't need backup, but hell, why not? If you can do it, do it. That's the next note, actually. Yeah, Triptychon eats Victorion was bound to happen, and gains control of their combiners. Yeah, I find it funny. they're all starting to hit him, but it's Minotaur himself. He climbs up onto the chest of Fortress Max and then jumps down on the face. His fists are tiny, with it. Starts punching him. It's punching Fortress Maximus in the face. It's like, wow, I would assume like a baby was, if a baby was hitting you in the face, you know? It's hilarious. Then Triptychon makes a mistake. Perceptor was told, take the Matrix, get out of Dodge. The Matrix, for some reason, seems to speak to Perceptor and tells him, go back. So he does. Brings the Matrix right into the fray, and Triptychon eats the Matrix. But that was the plan all along, the Matrix's plan, because that expels the Matrix, expels Victorion, and expels Starscream. And then Triptychon is eventually defeated. I think he's dead. It's a shame, you know? But, because I don't think Triptychon was really the main protagonist here. I think it was a Starscream in his body. But yeah, Starscream's ghost comes out and just, he's gone. He's bye-bye. Unfortunately, all this has been preamble, basically, because at the end, and I did tell you, Mark Hamill played the voice of someone, he does the voice of someone, and this goes on into Power of the Primes. He voices him here. Megatronus, aka the Fallen to some of us, he turns up, and our Megatron basically just gives him snash. Yeah, it's like, I took on your name, I did the arm, I did this, I did that. Basically, it turns out he was just trying to delay him or distract him, so Fortress Maximus and Optimus Prime can make a move against him. Doesn't really work out well because this guy's like a demigod or something to them, I think, because Fortress Maximus goes from and Megatron, as small as he is compared to this, basically goes poof, and then boom, we have once again the death of Optimus Prime. How many times has he been dead now? I do not know. I lost count between TV series and comics. I think he's been dead about 10 times. Seriously. I mean, hell, he even died in one of the Bayverse movies, and he came back at the end. Megatron is he got some like a fish, but with his cannon. He's got a cannon, kind of like our Megatron's, but it's kind of like triangle looking and much more advanced, obviously. And the Husker Prime kind of falls dead. And that's basically how it ends. It's like, right, Megatron's like, okay, you guys need to follow me. I know what we need to do. Sorry, Prime. That's basically the end of it, because Megatron has now the Enigma combination, and he has Matrix of Leadership. He's now looking for the Requiem Blaster. He gets all three together, and he can put whatever his master plan is into motion. Obviously, I know what it is. I'll tell you in the next video. Power of the Primes. Good see, he's better than Combiner Wars, but still, at the end of the day, just Triptychon walking towards a big building. Basically, there's a lot of death and destruction and debris and shit getting destroyed, and amongst it, but that's just generally it. So yeah. Next one is Power of the Primes. Hope to see you then. Roll out, my fellow Cybertronians.